In this episode of Anna Gare's Cab Fare, I met a father of three, Tofi. I learn what he loves most about driving, and I cook up his recipe for delicious Lebanese stuffed zucchinis.
Totally delicious. This is thickened beautifully.
I prepare a beautiful Middle Eastern dessert.
Doesn't that bring it to life?
And later surprise Tufik and his young family with sweet treats at their home.
Dinner. This is your dad's recipe. The kids love the bread.
This is really nice.
I'm Anna Gare. As a cook, I spend a lot of time getting in and out of cabs. I love meeting cab drivers from all around the world, collecting their recipes and then cooking it up for the whole family to enjoy.
I'd love you to try one.
Join me for Anna Gare's Cab Fare.
Howdy.
Anna?
That's me.
Good. Where are you going to?
To the city.
No worries.
And sorry, what's your name?
Tufik?
Ah, that's a Lebanese name, isn't it?
Yeah, how do you know?
I've met two Tufiks before.
And I'm the third one.
You're number 3 Tufik in my head. So how long have you been driving cabs?
Since end of 2003.
Did you grow up here in Sydney or?
No, I came to Australia in 2001, which is, you can say, I grew up in Sydney, you know, like for the last 17 years, 18 years. Yeah, that's where you learn everything in your life.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did you come over with your family?
No, I came over as a student.
Ah. And what did you study?
In Lebanon, I did cooking, the TAFE, and then I came here and I did a bachelor degree of hospitality management.
Oh, wow. I'm a cook.
Yeah?
Yeah,
There we go.
I love cooking. My whole life revolves around food.
Wow. What food?
All sorts of food, but I really love Lebanese food. What do you miss most about the food in Lebanon?
That's a great thing about Australia, especially
It's here.
Sydney. It's all here. And the best thing about it is they give it, like in Lebanon, Lebanese food is just an authentic Lebanese food. Here, it's like Australian Lebanese food, which makes it more, you know, more appealing.
So do you have a herb garden at home?
Look, with the current condition of my building and construction, it's all gone.
Oh, you're building at the moment?
Yeah, just extending the house, you know, for the kids.
Oh, how many kids do you have?
3,
And how old are they?
5, 6, and 9.
Oh, gorgeous. And what does your wife do?
Enjoying her life. Yeah, no, she's not around anymore.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. It's actually good.
So you do all the cooking and everything?
I do all the cooking, the cleaning, the washing, and I get a little bit of help from my au pairs.
So do you cook a lot of Lebanese at home?
Yeah.
Oh, how gorgeous. So what's your special Lebanese dish that you cook for the kids?
Oh, my kids love the stuffed zucchini.
I love stuffed zucchinis. Can I get this recipe from you? I love collecting recipes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
From drivers. So what's the Lebanese name for the stuffed zucchinis?
It's a Lebanese name, Kousa Mahshi.
How do we make it?
You just go to a Lebanese shop, you buy the zucchini and empty it from inside with a quarter.
I just loved the sound of Tufik's stuffed zucchinis. And it's really simple. First thing we do is get all of our filling into one bowl. So I've got some mince here. I've got 300 grams of beef mince that goes in. Just break it up with your fingers. 1/4 cup of rice. I'm using basmati rice. 2 teaspoons of dried mint. Really easy to make yourself. Just hang it up and dry it, and it has so much more flavour. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, pinch of salt, and salt's friend pepper. And then all we do is we get our hands into this and we mix it together until it's really well combined. It doesn't look like much, but it actually goes a long way. Right, that's ready. Now, I found these beautiful little zucchinis at the vegetable shop, and I also got this corer, and I'm glad I did because I think it's a little bit tricky to core them out. Start by chopping off the top, and then we're going to hollow it out. So we've got this corer. What we do is we put a little indent. It's a fiddly little start, but it's worth it because it becomes really satisfying. You just move it around in a circular motion, and then you pull it out. Oh, there you go. Little bit of zucchini flesh in the middle there, so we're removing all the flesh. And I'm going to save that flesh and put it into the sauce. So the trick is putting it slightly on the angle to get into the fatter part of the zucchini. And that's great, that one's done. And we just stuff the zucchini with this beautiful mince filling. We don't want to pack it down too tight because it will expand when it's cooking. It's looking great. We want to leave about 1 centimetre at the top, just so when it expands, it doesn't fall out. This is such a beautiful mix. You know, they actually call these grey zucchinis, but am I colourblind? Are they grey or are they green? I think they're green. It's a bit like the red onion. It's not red, it's purple. And now to prepare the sauce, we just add a little bit of olive oil to the pot and start with the usual suspects, some onion, a few cloves of garlic, and the zucchini flesh we scooped out before. And then basically we just give that a little stir and we cook that down till it's lovely and soft and a little golden. I think the kids are really going to love this recipe. Apparently Tofi cooks it for them all the time, so hopefully they're not going to be hard judges on my version. I just love the concept of stuffing the vegetables. I mean, you can use any type of meat in the stuffing. You can use chicken, pork, lamb, mix it with breadcrumbs or rice, and you can stuff any type of vegetable. And these onions are looking great and smelling great. Now I'm going to add 2 tins of chopped tomatoes. Let's give that a stir. And then I'm going to add some tomato paste. I'm using about ½ a cup here. This is going to give it a really lovely, rich, luscious flavour. One more stir and we're ready to lay those zucchinis down. And that is looking perfect. Right, now we're just going to put these little zucchinis on this lovely bed of tomato sauce. If I was a zucchini, I'd be very happy about this. And the lucky last. And then we add 2 cups of water and a big, generous slog of pomegranate molasses. And this is going to give it tang and zing, and we'll make it totally delicious. Oh, not a trick. Use a plate. This will make them sit nicely down in the liquid, like so. That's done. We just pop on the lid. These are going to take about 40 to 45 minutes to cook until tender, and I'm really looking forward to tasting Tofi's stuffed zucchinis. And so do you just drive the normal cabs?
I drive wheelchair taxis.
Oh, wow, so you drive the big vans for wheelchair chairs and parties as well?
Somebody told you about my party cab, didn't you?
Have you got a party cab?
Oh, man, it's like, you know, looks like you called 13 cabs and asked them about me. There we go. I just didn't want just to drive taxi as a taxi. I wanted to feel that I'm also doing something special, which is picking up disabled passengers. I learned a lot from them that regardless, you know, sometimes you look at yourself, they've got disability and they just want to go every day to work. They, you know, one day I met a wheelchair-bound girl and it was on her last semester of being a lawyer. She changed the way I look at life, you know. It was, to look at it, it's just...
make the most of what you
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that must be so handy. 3 kids, there's always a few friends.
Oh, you know, when we go on holidays, we put the whole house in the van and go.
That's great.
All the push bikes and toys and, yeah, it's really cool. Look, being a single dad, you have to be organised, like any single parents know that. If you get your life organised and get the kids organised in a way where very independent. My 9 years old actually looks like he's into cooking. Like, you know, I remember one day, woke up and I was really tired. He just prepared full breakfast.
So while the zucchinis are cooking, I'm going to show you how to make some really fantastic Middle Eastern flatbread. It's just going to go so well with this dish. So to activate the yeast, I put 1½ teaspoons of dry yeast into 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and all we do is give that a little stir. And when that starts to bubble, we're going to add it to my flour. Now that is very happy yeast. It's risen for the occasion and we know that it's really alive because it's gone all nice and bubbly. So I've got 2.5 cups of plain flour here. Now all I do is add this to the centre of my mix. I've made a little whirl. And then I add a little bit of olive oil and a pinch of salt. And then we're just going to mix that all together. Right. Now we just need to knead this together. You've got to get your hands in there. And actually, I find it easier to knead on the board. So I'm just going to get this to a nice, smooth consistency. And this is half the fun of bread making. We get to knead it for probably about 5 to 10 minutes until it's lovely and soft. And this is looking beautiful. So it's nice and elastic and sort of springs back when you touch it. And that's looking perfect. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of oil in my bowl. Run your hands around that. And then a little bit on top of the ball. Pop that in. And then we cover it over with a little cloth and let it sit for about 40 minutes or until it doubles in size. And here's one I prepared earlier. Don't you love that? You can see how lovely and soft it's gone now. So we're just going to push out that air. Right, now we're going to divide it into 8 sections. So I like to roll it out like so. Then I just go once. And there we have it, 8 little balls ready to go. And we do one at a time and then we cook them off as we go. We're just going to pop these in the bowl and they're ready to cook. So we're ready to roll. Now, it's very important to get a perfect little ball before you start rolling, otherwise you don't get a good shape. And a good trick is to cup your hand over the dough and just roll around like so. Then you get a nice little ball to start with. So we just pat that down, we lightly flour over the top and then roll away. And I just keep turning the dough around like this so you get a nice even roll. So we want these nice and thin. And that's looking pretty good. And just to make sure they're nice and round, I go around the edges like so. And then we go straight into a dry pan over medium heat. And if they're not perfectly round, they look more authentic. So we cook for a minute or 2. And you can see it's just starting to bubble up beautifully. OK, so it's time to turn this little guy over. Oh, look at that. And that's how easy it is, Middle Eastern flatbread, and I think I'm gonna have to try this one just to check that it's okay to keep cooking the rest. It's so soft and gorgeous. It's going to go beautifully with that sauce. So you were a chef originally. When did you get into driving cabs?
In 2003.
I guess it's a perfect job because it's so flexible.
It does help me a lot in my situation with the kids, especially driving the wheelchair taxi.
And how long have you been working with 13 Cabs?
Started with them in 2007.
Oh, wow. You've been with them forever. They seem like a real family. All the drivers seem to know each other and...
They do look after everyone. Usually everyone else follow what they do.
So do you ever cook desserts for the kids?
I try not to.
You don't want to get them used to it.
Look, I failed cooking dessert. It's hard. It's not for me. I remember back in the cooking school back in Lebanon, out of the 35 students, only 3 of us were really good with cooking dessert, and the rest of us were hopeless, and I was one of those 32.
What's your favourite Lebanese dessert?
Kunafa.
I know how to cook kunafa. It's great, and
Really?
it's
Which
really
one?
simple. Really simple. The one with semolina, because you can either thicken it with corn flour or semolina, and it's so much more beautiful with semolina.
Oh, beautiful. You should try. There's 4 types of kunafa now.
Yeah.
There's the chocolate, the one with chocolate, the one with pistachio, the one with ashtar, and the one with cheese.
I like the one with most of those things. I can make that for you. I can teach you how to make it.
Beautiful.
No, that would be really cool. How about I try to make your zucchini dish, and I whip up a kunafa and something else Lebanese, and I'll bring it over to you and the kids for you to judge my Lebanese cooking.
Are you sure you want to do this?
I'd love to. I'd love to.
My kids goes really hard.
There you go. Who's this weird lady?
Oh my God, they just really...
Just tell them to be nice. Tell them if they can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. That's what my mother said to me.
Maybe the 6 and the 9 years old, Adam and Aya will listen, but I can't guarantee the 5 years old Amir is going to listen.
Okay, yeah, I'm up for hard judges.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Thank you, bye.
So now I'm going to show you how to make the most delicious dessert. It's called Kunafa, and it's basically a baked custard. So we start by greasing our pie tin with some butter. Now that's a great start to any dish. And I'm scattering cornflake crumbs all over the base of my dish, which is going to give it great crunch and wonderful texture. So this dish is really popular all over the Middle East and in Lebanon, and they usually use like a shredded phyllo type pastry called Kunafa. But here in Australia, we love to use good old cornflake crumbs. And that's nicely coated, so now I'm going to show you how to make the custard. So we start by adding 2 cups of milk to a pot, 1 cup of cream, 1/3 cup of sugar. Then I'm going to add some rose water and some orange blossom syrup, which is going to give it that beautiful, authentic flavour. 1 teaspoon of each. And my favourite, the orange blossom. And these syrups are really popular these days. Even the supermarkets have started stocking them. And then we add 2/3 cup of semolina. Arc up the heat a little bit. And then we just stir that in until it starts to slightly thicken. Some people use corn flour in this recipe to thicken the custard, but the semolina adds a wonderful texture. So as you can see, this is thickened beautifully. At this point, we add the cheese, and I'm using mozzarella. And this gives it a lovely molten finish. When you cut into it, all the cheese sort of stretches, and it gives the whole dessert a fabulous texture. That's ready to go in. Just spoon that out into the dish. Now, my kids fight over that. Okay, now we'll just spread that out evenly. And then we top it again with the cornflake crumbs. And so this goes into the oven on 160 degrees for about 25 minutes. And now to make the rose syrup, which we pour all over the kunafa once it's baked. We use 3/4 cup of sugar, pop that into a pot, 1/3 cup of water, a little squeeze of lemon juice, and a little capful of this rose water. And it's as simple as that. We just turn on the heat and cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes until it thickens. So this is perfect, and it's just the way it should be, just still a little bit wobbly, which means it's going to slice beautifully. And to jazz it up, all we do is sprinkle over some pistachio nuts. Doesn't that bring it to life? And there you have it, one of the most popular desserts all throughout the Middle East, Kunafa. Well, I'm here with my Lebanese feast, and I'm really looking forward to feeding Tofi and his kids.
Come on, Anna.
I said I was coming.
Oh, wow.
Hi. Oh, what a welcome party.
Come on, guys. Say hello.
Oh, this is your house.
This is Anna.
Hi. Okay, kids, who wants some of this beautiful dinner? This is your dad's recipe.
Me!
Stuffed zucchini.
Me!
Here you go, Amir. Yay! I'm loving your enthusiasm.
A little bit of sauce.
Adam, this one's for you. Nice, big, juicy one. Bit more sauce? Do you want more sauce? There you go. You're also beautifully mannered. There you go, Amir. Put that there.
I'm gonna eat now.
Okay, oh, hang on. You have to wait for me. Okay, ready? I'm going to get one too. I'm going to get a lovely little one, and I'm going to get some of that juicy sauce. Do you know your dad gave me this recipe? I need you kids to try this and tell me if it's as good as your dad's, because I tried to make it as good as your dad's. And you know how you loved Kunafa?
Oh, wow, yeah.
So this is my version. It's made with the semolina, and I put the cheese in it. It's got the pistachios on top, and I made a really beautiful rose syrup here.
Wow. bread also is very nice.
Thank you. It's a bit scary cooking Lebanese bread for a Lebanese family. This is a good sign. You know when the plate's empty that it's really delicious. You're getting into that, aren't you? We'll finish this and then we can have some dessert. Oh, the kids love the bread. It's so easy to make. I'll give you the recipe.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you like that, don't you? Do you want a nice big piece? There you go, look at that. Oh, look at this. Oh. I put the sauce on the side so you don't have to have it if you don't want to.
This is really nice.
I'm going to give your dad
Look
a
at
lot.
this. Wow.
I hope it's just like your mum's recipe.
Too much. That means give him two. He eats too much. Give him 2 plates of this.
Amir.
He eats too much, does he? You never eat enough kunafa. So I'm quite full. I had a lot of
Wow.
the stuffed zucchinis. I'm going to drench it in it.
Better than the one we buy from the shops.
Is it? Well, that's good because it's homemade, that's why. It was lovely to cook.
No, seriously, very nice.